Welcome to part 3 of how to make POS system in Microsoft Access. And if you haven't watched first two videos in this series, I would strongly recommend you to do so. And the videos link will be in the description below. And I have created a playlist for you as well. So if in case you want to watch the whole playlist, whole series of these videos. So in last video, part number 2, we have created tables, around 6 tables in the last video until the order lines. Today we are going to create the remaining table, and we are going to create the relationship as well, because that's also another part of creating a backend database. So before I move ahead, I would like to say something. I would like to say that according to my analytics, 92% of the audience who watch my videos, they haven't subscribed to the channel, and I don't understand why. What does not make you to subscribe to my channel? Is it my quality of content or my accent? Whatever it is, I would request you to subscribe to the channel, because that way you can give me support, that way you can motivate me so I can keep making these videos. Otherwise, if the motivation level is low, then sometimes I do feel on this channel people watch very less videos, and I don't have any audience. That's what I feel, and that makes me sometimes that disappoints me. And but I still keep making the videos, because I mostly concentrate on the fact that if at least even one person gets the benefit out of it, that would be really good. So anyway, it's up to you, but I would recommend you to subscribe to give the support. That is it. Anyway, so let's go ahead and create tables from invoices. So this is the first table we are going to create in today's tutorial. So I'll quickly go to Microsoft Access. These are the tables created in previous video. If you haven't watched, please do so. Let's create the table called invoices. So I'll click on create in ribbon, and I'll click on table and right click here and go to design view, and it will ask the name. So I'll give name invoices. Okay, and now we have to give the ID. ID is auto number. I have explained it in detail about this primary keys and foreign keys in part 2. So that's why I'm saying, if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that video first as well. So first field called is invoice ID. All right, auto number. And second field is invoice date, and data type would be date and time. And the third field would be order number. Now order number here in this table, it's considered as foreign key, and in orders table, right, in this orders table, it is considered as primary key. So whenever we are talking about foreign keys and primary keys, most of the times the data type is number data type. Okay, and make sure that the data type for both foreign keys and primary key is the same. Otherwise you are going to get error when you're creating relationship in Microsoft Access. Order total. Now order total, it's about money, it's about prices. So which means always, and this also I have explained in part 2, so that's why I'm recommending to watch that as well. So order total is about prices, so we will give the order type data type, sorry, as number. But in here we will change from field size long integer to double, and then we'll change the format to standard. All right, this as I mentioned, this I have explained it in the last video, so in detail. Discount percentage, that's the next field. It will also come in number data type, but this time what we are going to do, we are going to choose the format as percent. Okay, and decimal we would like to keep as 0 decimal places. So let's save that. Next we have discount. Now discount is number field here, but we will have it as a calculated field here. Okay, why calculated? Because you want the discount to be calculated automatically. The moment the salesperson will add the percentage, how much percentage discount is being given, the system should automatically calculate the amount of the discount. That's why the automation is important. So this is where we are going to build the inbuilt expression, so to calculate the discount. So what we're going to do, order total multiply by discount percentage. Okay, order total multiply by discount percentage. That is it. So it will automatically calculate what is the amount. Result type, we want double, and format standard. Okay, then next we have net RSP, net retail sales price, and this will also be number as I mentioned, and field size would be double, format would be standard, decimal places would be auto. Amount collected would be in number. Again, it's all about prices, money, and field size would be double, format would be standard, and decimal points would be auto. Next we have balance. Now balance should also be calculated automatically, and balance, and in here we have balance calculated and net RSP minus amount collected. Okay, net RSP minus amount collected, that would be balance, and result type would be double, standard format, and then status will be short text, and let's reduce the field size to 25 characters. Status date, it's a date and time, and let's we want only the date, so we'll choose the short date. Here we go, we don't want time here. Verified by, and that would remain as short text. Verified on, that would be date and time, and format again should be short date. Okay, paid by, and that would remain short text. Mobile, and we'll reduce it to 25 characters. So this is the invoice table. Now if you found me a little bit faster, that is because I have explained these things individually with the details in part 2. So if you have watched the part 2, then watching this part will not be difficult for you. But if you haven't watched the part 2 of this series, then you might find it a little bit difficult to understand what I'm doing here, because I've done the explanation in part 2. So that's why I'm recommending watch that as well, and subscribe again. All right, this table is done. Now when I'm saying this table is done, that does not mean it's final table. There might be some of the things that require to be changed. That can also happen later in the stage, but not massive or major changes. It could be just the data type is changed, or some addition of a field. That is it, nothing major. But that we will see down the line when we are actually building the UI or queries or reports. Then we'll see if there is any need arise. I have done almost the complete study of the what features we are going to build, and based on that this structure is created. So hopefully there'll not be any major changes required, and that's the whole purpose of doing this study and work before we even jump into Microsoft Access. Right, this table is done, so let's close it to invoice tables. Now let's go to the purchase table. So purchase table is all about the procurement process, right? So the procurement that you will do to, of course, you have to buy stuff in order to sell stuff. So first you will buy stuff from someone else. For example, the wholesaler or the factory itself, whatever your procurement point will be. So you need to keep record of your purchase requests, how many purchase requests and when you created, so you can include those in your P&Ls, in your financial statements. Of course this relates to the financials, so that's why it's important to keep a record. And where you will keep those records of purchase? Of course in purchase table, right? So that's what we are going to do now. Okay, so let's create the table here. All right, first let me go through all the details. If everything is been included, category ID, so category would be the expense type, right? We're going to link with that. Product, we are going to link the product table. This is the product table right here. So this is the primary key, and in here this is the foreign key. Category key is the foreign key here, and expense ID is the pardon me, category is perhaps not the expense type. Expense is different, it's completely different. Purchase is completely different. Purchase is about procurement and keeping the inventory control. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and create purchase table. We'll click on create table, design view, and we'll give the name purchase. Simple as that. First ID is of course primary ID. Purchase ID would be auto number created on. We would keep date and time. Category ID, okay, category ID number. Yeah, category ID here. Categories will be created. So this category is the foreign key, and it will be linked with the categories table. That's why I was looking where actually is the table. So here it is. So categories will be another table, and we will be linking categories with the purchase. All right, product ID, this will also be linked. So number field, data type. Purchase price, this will be number. This is about money and price, so we're going to keep it as number. Okay, standard, you know this whole thing that we have done in previous table as well. Quantity would also be in number, of course, and let's keep that as double. All right, UOM is the, of course, the unit of measurement, and it would be in short text, and it does not require 255 characters. Only 10 characters are enough. That too also a lot. Total price is the calculated field, and we'll do the calculation, and we'll do the calculation with purchase price into quantity, and we'll get the total price. So purchase price into QTY, and that would be our total price. So this field also, result type would be double, sorry, format type will be standard, ordered on, so we'll keep the date and time as well. Storage location, in case you have any storage, a dedicated storage location for this particular item to be stored, you can do that. Reference document is very important. Now reference document is all about the document. For example, if you will do a purchase, let's say you have a wholesaler from where you will buy the item, And wholesaler, when they will deliver the item or when you will buy the item, they will give you some sort of a document called invoice. So they will give you the invoice. That invoice probably will have a number, and that will be the reference document which you will input here in this field. Okay, it's very important to keep the records that against which invoice what product was purchased. So if down the line someone who will actually use this product, use this software, will be able to track that the against which document type what products were purchased, and that's very important. Okay, received on, very very important. You want to timestamp everything. So to do that, date and time is important data type. Inventory status, this is also very important. You want to change the status of the inventory. For example, is it, so when you will place the order, the inventory status will be on order, right? When it is on the way to you, then the status would be on the way or on shipment or something like that. We'll decide later, right? If the product is received, then the status would be received. If the product is available for sale, then status would be available for sale. So that's how you manage the inventory. That's how you count what quantity is available, what quantity is not available, what quantity is ordered, what quantity is back ordered. So you will see down the line, inventory management will actually be born from this table itself. This table will determine what inventory management is. So that's why it's important. Status, date and time. So we'll keep status, date and time. Payment mode, and payment mode will be lookup wizard. Now some wholesalers would accept cash only. Some wholesalers you can do business on credit. So it's very important to differentiate what is the payment mode or payment method. Okay, very important. And then payment due on. So if it is credit, then you will have some sort of credit limit. For example, credit days, sorry, perhaps. For example, you will have a contract with the wholesaler that, okay, if I buy any item from the date of purchase or from the date of delivery, within 60 days or 45 days or 30 days or 15 days, I will be making payment. So that should be the payment due on should be date and time. Okay, and then later we'll put a formula which basically automatically calculate or count the number of days and give the date. That will be done in the form. Paid, and then we'll keep here. Now paid, how much amount you have paid to the wholesaler or to whom, from whom you have bought the products. Payment status, short text, we'll keep it as 25 characters, and paid on, we'll keep it as date and time. Okay, so purchase table is completed. Now before I move forward, I must say this, right? Disclaimer, you can say that it's disclaimer. Now this is a small application. This is a demonstration, and therefore I have not created a separate table for different things. So for example, if you'll notice, I've clubbed different things into one table. Technically, if you are making a product or POS for larger scale shops or the audience, then of course you have to have some sort of different tables for payment structure and different table for receiving the inventory. But rest assured, with this table also, with this kind of structure as well, you can carry on your work. There will be no problem at all, and I will show you at the end of this series that I will show you the demonstration that how well actually it is working, even having clubbing everything in one table. it works very well, and I've done that in the past. That's how I know. Okay, purchase table is also done. Let's close that. Now let's go to the categories table. Let's quickly create that small table so we'll not forget about it. Or is it created? It is created already. Right, it is created. Expenses. Okay, so expenses. Now let's create that as well. So expenses is also very important, in which we can I mean the retailer or the shop owner can record the expenses such as buying inventory, paying bills, paying salaries, all of that. Although we have separate table for the salaries, but that would be considered as expense, right? There are two types of actually, if you look from the P&L perspective, P&L perspective is revenue minus cost of sale would be your gross profit, and then gross profit minus expenses would be your net profit, right? So that's what I believe. So revenue minus cost of sale would include, now there are two type of costs: indirect cost, direct cost. Direct cost will be the material that you are going to purchase. Indirect cost will be your manpower that is working, so that will be there. So revenue minus cost of sale would be your gross profit. Gross profit minus expenses would be your net profit, and we are going to do these calculations down the line when we are making report. I hope I'm telling the correct formula though. I'm not a accountant or financial expert, but I do know a little bit about finance or accounting, and I believe that's the correct formula. But let's see. I will study. I will ask someone if it is correct or not. You tell me in the comments below also if it is correct or not, whatever I have just tell you. Alright, let's go ahead and create another table, expenses table. Okay, create table, right click, design view, expenses. Okay, expense ID. That would be auto number created on date and time. Expense for. What is this expense for? Now this is the number field, and this will be linked with the categories, because in categories table we will be having categories like inventory payment or so and so expense, bills, telephone bill, electricity bill, gas bill, whatsoever. So all of that, it will be linked with the categories table. So expense for would be number field, supplier would be number field, because we already have a separate table for supplier, so it will be linked with that. Description, what is this expense for? So you can give a little bit of description, 255 characters. Expense type. Now expense type, lookup wizard. Okay, all right, lookup wizard. So expense type will have lookup wizard, but for expense for, I apologize, it is for the month, right? Expense for which month? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Although we can derive that from the created on as well, but it would be good to have a separate field that indicates is expense for which month. So let's have a lookup wizard here. So we can so January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, cool. Expense type is a lookup wizard. Now there are different types of expenses, which I will be adding later, so I'll keep that as a short text. Okay, later we'll do that. A reference document. Remember I was telling you about the reference document, so that will be added in this field as well. So for example, if you have purchase an inventory, that's an expense, and that information will be replicated in expense table also, and therefore we need a reference document number here as well. Right, next field is bill value. How much was the bill value? How much actually was charged to us? And that would be double, standard, auto. Amount paid and how much we have paid against whatever it was charged. Okay, balance and how much is the balance, and let's make that as a calculated field. So bill value minus amount paid would be our balance. Got that? Payment method. So what was the payment method? Was it cash or credit? We'll capture that as well. Payment reference document number. So if the payment was made against this purchase order number, that will go here in payment reference and number. Okay, so we'll just change the length of field paid on, date and time, remarks, short text, status, short text, but we'll reduce the size of it. Status date, oops. Status date, we'll keep date and time, and payment due date. Right, so if in case there is a payment due date, that also will be captured here. Let's make it as short date. So expense table also is calculated, created, not calculated. Close that. What is happening? Why I'm saying some of the things incorrect? I have no idea. Anyway, let's make another table, payroll, and then the last table would be payroll lines. Payroll. Okay, so make a name payroll. This is additional feature you can add to so the whoever will buy this product from you will get benefited having the payroll management. Although it's a very basic payroll management, but it will be beneficial for whoever will buy. It will be beneficial for them. So payroll ID, created on, date and time, then payroll for which month, like we did for the other table. We'll make that limit to list, finish. Net payable, how much is net payable as a salary to the employees? What is the status of payroll? So we'll keep that as a short text. And what is the status date and time? Right, keep that as a short date. This table is also done. Now let's make payroll lines. Now payroll lines will be linked with the payroll table. So very simple. because payroll lines will have the actual employees information and how much salary would be paid to them eventually. All right, for that particular month. If we'll go to design view, payroll lines, payroll ID, and that would be number because this is foreign key. It will be linked with the payroll table. Employee ID would be number key. It will be linked with the employees table. What is the basic salary? So we'll get this information from the employees table, and it would be number field, double, standard, decimal points, auto. Allowance, it will be number field again. Field size would be double, format standard, auto. Salary, number, double, standard, auto. Salary deduction, if in case there is any deduction, that can also be captured. It will be in double, standard, auto. Gross salary will be calculated, and how it is calculated: salary minus deduction. Salary minus salary deduction, that would be gross salary. And in here we'll have incentive, if in case the owner is kind enough to pay incentive to its employees, that would be great. And that would be net payable, and it would be calculated. So what calculated? Gross salary minus plus this time incentive, right? Gross salary plus incentive would be net payable. So first we have the actual salary of the employee, and then we looked at if there is any salary deduction because of whatsoever, and that will be recorded, and the gross salary will be auto calculated. After the gross salary is calculated, if the owner is decided to give incentive to its employees, then we'll add gross salary plus incentive. That would become net payable, right? Simple. And then status of that salary, whether it was paid or not yet paid or pending, status state. Okay. Paid on, we would like to know when actually it was paid, so we'll have short date, only the date. Paid by, so who has actually recorded that the salary has been paid to the employees, so the name of that person will be recorded as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of tables that we have created. Right, so we have created around 11 or 12 tables. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 tables are created for this grocery shop POS system. Now I guess for the tables, I thought I will have relationships also included in this particular video tutorial, video number 3, but I guess it would be a bit longer because that requires a little bit of explanation. So that coming up, relationships, making relationships is coming up in video number 4, so watch out for that. And every Wednesday, Thursday and Friday I'm going to upload videos related to POS. So if you are interested, please do wait and watch all the videos that I have published or I'm going to publish in the future as well. So let's see you in the next video for the relationship creation. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, smash the like button, hit the bell icon, subscribe to the channel, share it with others too if you think it will be beneficial for someone else, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.